right. I trust that you have had an outstanding morning thus far. This session is entitled The Provost Roadmap to Academic Success. What I want to do is first start, because there may be a term that you all are, a title that you all aren't completely familiar with. Certainly I wasn't when I was an undergrad. The term provost. Our provost is Dr. Barbara Bickelmeyer. She is our chief academic officer, and so it is certainly her charge and the rest of the provost office team to work very closely with faculty, staff, and students to present in front of you the very best experiences possible, whether that's in your academic plan, in your day-to-day courses. Our goal is to challenge you, to have you think about things differently than you did as you walked in our door, to have you develop some new skill sets, again, almost always through challenge. On the flip side of that, it is also her charge to provide some key support services for you, to make sure that you have some of those folks to rely on to help you meet that challenge, and to know that you certainly can as you move through your program here. And so this session is kind of a checkpoint for us, because what we know about tools to roadmap for academic success, we have certainly been sending these messages and giving you insight and hoping that it's kind of sticking as you've moved through orientation, possibly when you've talked to fellow classmates, upper class students that you may know here at Umkc, to kind of get the rules of the game going and some of those success points. So one of the things that we absolutely know about the roadmap to academic success is, well, first of all, I'm going to warn you, I kind of like themes. And so we're going to have some themes going. So the success roadmap is that it's best traveled together. And so certainly that's one of the reasons why we want to touch base with you. That's why I'm having this session absolutely coming to you with some support of both student leaders, faculty, and staff. I have wisdom behind me that will also provide some of that insight. But some of the key players that I want to introduce right now, and the others will introduce themselves through the program, is Susie Q Lewis. She is the director of the Peer Academic Leaders Program. Susie, want to say hi real quickly?
Susie Q Lewis. I'm the director of our CAL program, and several of our student leaders in the CAL program will be represented on the panel today, so you'll get to learn from them this afternoon. You can also swing by and see us in the Success Center.
Absolutely. So any question is a good one. If you don't feel like asking it in the large group, boy, we will be hanging out in a wide variety of ways today and tomorrow and through your first week, so don't hesitate to ask. Okay, so here we go. What I'd like for you to do is open up that room mobile, because again, the way that the provost office looks at this is that it's important to make sure that we think about the best traveled road is with ongoing communication. So we have all sorts of ideas. We want to be sending messages to you and giving you insight. But if we don't circle back and check to see where you are, then we've lost an opportunity. So today, using Room Mobile, we have a series of polls that we call them, and we want to get your feedback. So if you've opened the Room Mobile tool, and you pretend that this is my particular Room Mobile app, if you push that first screen over to the right, I want you to look for this particular screen that says Roadmap Success Number 1. And if you open that, I'm going to give you 30 seconds to kind of screen through that. And I want you to give us your best answer to question number 1. Do you anticipate academic challenges? And while yes. Has it gotten tired today? This is a large group. Okay, I don't know what you guys have done, but this is our first group to struggle.
It's like when you click log in and then you type in your credentials.
You do.
And then it goes back to the login page.
Can you try it one more time for me?
I just downloaded the I just got the Get app for my thing and typed it.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Okay, all right, so this is what you guys are going to promise me. We will check into it, okay? But in the next couple of days, I'm going to send out a prompt to say, remember to do the polls for us, okay? So the good thing is that we've had 4 sessions before this. I can kind of share some of the feedback that the other groups collectively have given us so that we can still have a good conversation, but just to check in, okay? Will that work? Okay, are any of you logged into the app? Oh, some are. How many of you are logged in? Okay, I don't know about you all in the back, but Dr. Pemberton? Okay, so we've got, hopefully the majority of you have logged in, right, and given us some feedback. And before we reflect back what we've just learned from you, I'm going to turn for some insights from our peer academic leaders.
Good morning, Ruse. Oh, there we go. Thank you. My name is Sadie, and I'm a senior here. I'm a communications major, and I am a senior PAL, which is peer academic leader. I work with Susie and as well as the other PALs. So for those of you who didn't hear the question because your room mobile is not working, it's, do you anticipate academic challenges? There was 3 options: not at all, yes, due to course content, and yes, because of outside commitments. If you're choosing not at all, I would like you to show me your ways, because I mean, that's amazing, and I would love to know how you did that. But for most of us, we are going to have some academic challenges. To go with our roadmap theme, I'm going to compare college to the roads of Kansas City. If you are from Kansas City, you know that there have been a lot of potholes here. We have a really big pothole problem. And so those potholes are the challenges that we may face with our academics. So, you're driving, you hit that pothole, messes up your tires, then you have to go get help because your tire's broken, all that stuff. So that's a lot like college. So those challenges are the potholes, and your help is your resources here at the university. We have a ton of different resources between tutoring and your advisors, your professors, your pals. So definitely just know that this is a journey that we all take together, and don't be afraid to ask for help.
Thank you, Sadie. Okay, so one of the things that we absolutely want to do in this session is make sure that we've hit number 1 message. And as we look at the folks that have been able to respond to our poll, when you all responded, 61% say, yes, it's going to be harder than high school. That's one of the most important messages that we want you to hear from the very beginning is that the expectations that you have experienced in your high school careers, sound programs, good training. We're gonna lift the bar a bit this time, and I want everybody to be ready to go for that. The second response was yes, because of work and outside commitments. We absolutely recognize that. But what we want to do is make sure that you all get a little bit selfish right now and put your academics first, because that's going to be key as well. Only 6% said, not at all, I got this, there aren't going to be any problems, okay? So we don't want to scare you, because please remember, we want to challenge you, but the support is coming in as well. So we're hoping that you feel that. So if you're able to log into your room mobile, let's go ahead and go to item number 2. And I'm going to turn to my peer leaders to give some insight.
Hello, everyone. How are you guys doing today? Good. Sorry? Never mind. Okay, anyways. So I hope you guys said you don't need to study, because who wants to study, right? I'm just kidding. Anyways, so yes, college, you guys have to study a lot. It's true. But it's not as bad as you think. Everyone always thinks you have to study like 2 to 3 hours for every hour. Although that may be the case for a lot of you, it's really not realistic, because come on, who's going to study like 40 hours a week? Like, ain't nobody got time for that, right? So I just recommend you guys find a consistent pattern that works for you, rather than studying like 5-6 hours one day and then not studying the next few days. try to find a routine that is consistent. So that could be studying a few minutes here, like 30, 40 minutes in the morning, 45 minutes to 2 hours in the evening, whatever. And an analogy to like a road map or driving would be, if you're like going 90 miles per hour, you're going to burn gas and you're not going to get as far as you would if you could find like a good 45 mile per hour speed. So college is like a marathon, so you can't sprint from the beginning or you're going to run out of gas at the end. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Wow, applause. Woo. Okay. All right. Responses, you guys have heard that message, that 2 to 3 hours per week for each hour in class. Yeah. I'm going to go back to that and say, boy, plan on that, particularly continue to give that amount of time in your schedule from the beginning so that you can make sure to get to that set point that is giving you the academic performance that, that you want. Okay? All right? Great. Let's go on to poll number 3. And as you enter in your feedback for us, let's get some feedback from our peer academic leaders. Yep.
Hi guys, my name is Boston. I'm an English major, and I'm a writing consultant here at the Umkc Writing Studio. So the first 4 weeks of college are going to be chaotic, and to capture this best, is while like staying true to our roadmap theme, is the first 4 weeks are really like the beginning of a road trip. Like you're all packed up, you're ready to go. You guys have gone through orientation, you're here at school, but you still got to get out of the city onto that stretch of the highway that's going to get you to where you need to go. And you might have to stop for gas, take some tricky exits, and that's what the first 4 weeks are all about. Just a couple things I find important. First of all, hopefully you've already had a chance to, you might not, but the bookstore, it gets really crowded there, especially during the afternoons. Try to get in early and get your books as early as possible, and check out online for those too. Mess around with the digital platforms that you have to use, such as Canvas and Pathway and all of those websites, because they do get tricky, but the more you use them, the easier they become. And of course, going to class and getting to class on time. Just be a bit diligent and leave early and explore the campus, because that'll help you out a lot. Most importantly, or definitely an important aspect that people don't talk about a lot, is getting involved on campus. For my first 2 years, I wasn't really involved that much, so I didn't meet a lot of people, and it kind of created a disconnect between me and the campus. So I would encourage you all within the first 4 weeks to find an organization or something that you can just start spending your time with and connecting and building a relationship with, because it makes your college experience much better. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. Excellent. Very good. Okay. Feedback. 82% say going to every class from the very first moment. Awesome. Okay. This was a little bit of a trick question, because as the items that we put here, frankly, from our point of view, every single one of them is important, okay? So certainly going to class from the beginning. Typically, the underestimated skill set is being able to log in and start uploading things to Canvas, or the systems that each one of your classes, many of them will use. And so what I want to say is a large percentage of students, just like me when I got my next new cell phone and I had to learn to swipe up instead of push a button and all those. Each time we have to get used to new technology, sometimes it's challenging for all of us. There are resources available for you. So as you check through mobile, for example, we're going to share with you a chat line that you can get for additional help to be able to load up things. Your peer academic leaders will be available over in the Student Success Center to be able to give you some pointers. But make sure, as Boston said, make sure that you're logging into those things. Another thing, sometimes students think that folks that are on the academic side or the instructional side will say is, don't worry about those courses and those groups and different things. We want you to get engaged with the campus, and while there are over 150 different organizations, we don't want you to participate in every one of those, but we do want you to find within the first 4 weeks, and that's the challenge, that organization or club or activity that really speaks to who you are and the things that you're interested in. I'd kind of like to go back to our peer mentors real quickly and talk about how quickly you got engaged when you were a first semester freshman and thoughts about whether that worked for you or not. Sadie, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, so I was really involved in high school, and when I came to college, I was like, ooh, I need to like crack down, work on my schoolwork. So I didn't get involved in anything my first semester. Come second semester, I got pretty lonely. I was like, wow, where are my friends? And so I decided to join some organizations, and so something I regret was not joining them my first semester, because my second semester grades went up significantly. People held you more accountable. You had people to study for. So definitely get involved right off the back. For me, currently, I'm a PAL as well as an RA in Johnson Hall. And then I also am in the Mercury Association, which is a communications organization.
Hi everyone, my name is Che. I am going into my senior year here at Umkc. Freshman year I didn't really get involved, kind of like Sadie. I was just in my room, you know, go to class, come back, take a nap, watch Netflix. It was really boring. So I would encourage you to, you know, join organizations that interest you, go to meetings, go to events, meet people and make those friends early on. Some things that I'm involved in, I am on the board for the Honors College Student Association, which is essentially the student body government of the Honors College. If you guys are interested in joining the Honors College, I definitely recommend it. I'm also part of ASA, which is the African Student Association, and then I am also a peer academic leader like Sadie.
All right, once again, guys, my name is Boston. So as I said, I was a commuting student for the first 2 years, and one of my biggest regret is not getting involved within the first 4 weeks, or at least first semester. So I really started doing that last year, my first semester, sophomore year. Decided to become a part of Greek life and join a fraternity here at UMKC, as well as take a spot in the UMKC writing studio. So both the social aspect as well as like a educational and work aspect. There's lots of opportunities, and I found 2 that worked for me. And I'm sure if you just search, you'll definitely find your fit somewhere.
Alright guys, what's up? Amir again. I was very much like Boston. I'm a commuter student, so coming my first semester, it was very hard because I wasn't as outgoing as I should have been to meet new people or find new opportunities. But coming my second semester, I applied for a tutoring position at what is now called Umkc Tutoring, and through there I met a lot of people, had a great time, and then now I'm an SI as well. So you guys could be seeing me around a little bit more, unfortunately for you all. Yep. Just kidding. And so, yeah, I highly encourage you guys just to go out, talk to new people you wouldn't have beforehand, because there's a lot of opportunities waiting out there for you. So if you have any questions, just feel free to ask or stop by later.
Hi, my name is Jamaica. I'm a junior here, and I know that classes, they tend to get really stressful. And also, I'm in the PAL program with Sadie and Shay. And so things I like to do is like go to a swing dancing club that happens here, you know, something that's different, and you can just have fun and release all that stress before you go into your next class and have fun.
Excellent. Thank you. Okay, we're going to go into the next feedback poll that has to do with ways that our very best students improve their academic performance. So if you quickly log in feedback for us. I'm going to turn to our panel.
So the options for things that the best students do. One of them, study by themselves only. The second is supplemental instruction. Third is writing studio. Fourth is librarian assistance. And the fifth is tutoring. So the only thing I recommend you not do is study by yourself only. Definitely study by yourself because you are going to imbibe the most information that way. But definitely know when it's time to step out of your comfort zone and study with other people that might look at the material differently and be able to help you in ways that you couldn't help yourself. Supplemental instruction is definitely useful. Most of our difficult classes have that. And so it's basically a place that's not class, but kind of like class, where you can learn the material in a new way that the professor didn't teach it. The writing studio is in Atterbury Student Success Center, and it's a place where you can go to have your papers read over, checked for grammar, sentence structure, citations, all that good stuff. The librarians are always there to help you if you need help finding a book, if you need help finding a textbook. Sometimes we have textbooks that people can check out from the library. And then tutoring is a useful resource. They tutor math, science, foreign language, among other things. And it's definitely life-saving, life-changing, because sometimes you're not going to understand what your professor is saying, but you go to these tutoring services and they explain it to you in like common terms that you can then understand. One thing that no one told me when I came in is that you have to learn how to study for each class differently. Professors are different, they test different ways, so you're gonna have to learn what works for each class, because what works for one class is not gonna work for the other class, and the amount of time that you put in for one class might not be the amount of time that you're gonna have to put in for another class.
Great, thank you. How do they know if their class has an SI session?
So on the first day of class, your professor is going to introduce your supplemental instruction leader to you, and they're going to tell you what times their sessions are. You can also find out if your class has an SI through Umkc Connect.
Great, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, polls. I am excited to see that 88% of you put the number one thing down as MAST and SI, names that are absolutely unique or things that you may not have heard in the past. So we're really excited about that. As far as supplemental instruction, what I'm going to encourage you to do is find out your times, and what I'm going to encourage you to do is not just go try it once, but you need to commit to trying it at least 3 times, okay? Because that way you get into the philosophy and you can apply it and you get the most out of it each and every time you go, and that's a cumulative type of experience for you. Okay, let's go down to the last question. Oh, the next question. Sorry, we've been doing this oh no, it is the last question. Sorry. Okay, go ahead and log in your feedback for the last item. And the question has to do with how do you choose or how do you select classes and when, okay? Do you wait for your academic advisor to just tell you? Do you do it semester at a time? Or is it best to do a 4-year plan even as you just are creating that? Okay? Okay, Jamaica?
Okay, so it's best to create a 4-year plan so that you can know ahead of time what classes that may happen in one semester that doesn't happen in another. So where you can do this is at the Umkc Connect portal, which is going to take you to the degree audit, which is here. And right here, we're going to create a new plan. Sometimes you have plans already created because your advisor may have checked it to make sure that you're on progress. But don't allow your advisor to do all the work. Just like if you're going to a dealership and you're going with your best friend, you don't allow your best friend to buy your car. It's pretty much the same thing. So you're going to create a name, and because I'm an environmental science major, we're going to use my major, but there is all majors that you can choose by yourself because not everyone stays in the major that they came in with. And we're going to run the program, and when you run this program, you're going to see this page, and this page shows all the required classes and maybe some options other than some classes that also qualify for your major. And you're going to see some. We're going to choose this course in Anchor 100 and click it over to the fall 2019. And because I've already done these classes, it comes up in green. And you're going to press check, and it's going to be a part of your plan. And with this, you can tell that you're on the right course, and always come to your advisor with a plan. Don't go without a plan because they're not going to do your classes for you. It's up to you.
Absolutely, thank you. Another key tool that we have at UMKC so that you're just not going on that journey without some kind of basics is something that we call UMKC major maps. And so for each one of the academic plans at UMKC, we will list a 4-year semester by semester plan that's kind of a typical approach forward. What we certainly know is each of you comes in sometimes with previous credit. You want to be able to consider that in your plan. The tool that Jamaica demonstrated for you absolutely knows the courses that we've received transfer credit for you. Those courses show up as green or completed. This allows you to start planning a unique plan for you. We want you to begin that process within the next 4 weeks. And really, it's a process of just getting into the system and starting to plan things. Most importantly, we want you to go to that 4-year plan, because at the end of your academic programs, many times those are where some of the most exciting, interesting courses in each one of your plans are. And the more you get to know more towards the end of your destination, the more exciting and you have a better understanding of the key prerequisites and the foundations that you're building in your first couple of years. It also gives you an opportunity to see where it is that you've completed and how much time you have available in your schedule to add particularly a second major or another minor, but also begin thinking about utilizing resources across campus to either do study abroad or some other things that are particular to your specific interests. So it's absolutely an important way to go, okay? So thank you for the feedback. The feedback on that item sounds as though we've sent some good messages in that almost 70% of you understand the benefit of moving into that 4-year cycle and moving forward, okay? So we're excited. Thank you for the feedback. It helps us very, very much. We've put forward, I shouldn't have gone down in my tone there. We have 2 challenges that we've given you today. What were there? Join an organization, pick one within the first 4 weeks of the term, right? Yes? What was the other challenge? Go to SI and find out and use those skills. Another challenge was? Plan your own 4-year roadmap so that you can have the best academic advising and best start for your semester. As you move forward, I would like to say that Provost Bickelmeyer sends her absolute warmest greetings. The Provost team is here to support you as well. We have our Deputy Provost in the back, Dr. Pemberton. Provost Bickelmeyer is ready to have pizza with you tomorrow at noon, okay? I encourage you to go and have the opportunity to meet and introduce yourself to Provost Bickelmeyer. It is absolutely our goal to have you have an excellent semester here at Umkc. And with that, it's between me and lunch. So I'm going to get out of your way, and I will see you at convocation at 2 o'clock. Did I forget something? I can't even remember.
No, they seem like they wanted to leave.
They were ready to go. Yes. Hi. Hi.
I'm out, dog.
You rocked it. Hi.
Do you know where convocation is?